Hello there.
Hey, John.
It's a lovely day for a scavenger junt.
Yeah, so that's the name of the show, right?
Yep.
Scavenger Junt. Frankie, would you introduce it to the Red Cow Nation?
Sure. Contestants will go anywhere on John's property that includes his apartment or his house, bring back an item from anywhere on the property.
Anywhere.
And John is expected to explain it, tell us where it came from if he can, and then we decide if we throw it out or keep it. We also compete to see who has the most interesting item or the one that John likes best or something.
And the rules are made up. We have 3 people playing today. I'm really excited that Zach has also agreed.
What's your favorite part about playing this game?
There's a great number of things in this house, and it's focusing in on one for a moment and really thinking about it. Why is this here? Why do you have it?
Is getting to sit in one place really appealing?
It's very appealing.
Let's play.
All right.
There used to be something that sat up on that shelf. It is not here. Now the question is, do I go somewhere else? I'm kind of curious, even though I can't obscure this.
Is it some sort of weapon?
Looks like it, doesn't it? I guess we'll have to have John turn his head.
I'm pretty sure I'm not winning this. I'm gonna be the underdog. I am the Chicago Cubs.
Be brave.
I'm just gonna go into John's underwear drawer and bring up some underwear. Make him explain his underwear to us. Then we're going into his sister's old room. Or I know John kind of took over some of that space. Both of his sisters at one point lived up here. And there's no way that this stuff is theirs.
What? They didn't want a giant computer tower and speakers? What is that?
Zach had something big. I don't know if I want to compete with Zach and bring out something big. I'm a little worried that Zach may have found a musical instrument as well. I'm doing it. I gotta compete with Zach. Pretty sure we're not throwing this away though at the end. I like it. I like my choice.
I have a little bit of concern. This room that I'm going into, that I've already planned to go into, the first room of disasters, the one that his littlest sister used to live in, it's cluttered beyond repair. So either I'm just gonna have to grab something from the doorway or take a risk and try to climb over the stuff. Let's do it. This is what we're talking about right here. What is this? There's 2 of them. It's got firewire on the back. Okay. These.
These.
I mean, I guess they must be hard drives. Maybe he can tell us what's on them.
The item, I assume, is in place. I think it would be interesting if we reveal them one at a time. You got to play rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first.
Rock, paper, Junt.
Rock, paper, Junt. And Junt wins all the time.
Husband and wife?
Yeah, right against each other. Let's go. Rock, paper, scissors.
We could also just do it in the order that we went in.
I guess.
He's supposed to guess who brought what.
You already said both of yours were big, and I didn't make any. Well, mine could have been
you
big.
don't know.
Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, I'll do it.
You just threw them out.
I'll do it administration. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay, 1, 2, 3, shoot.
He wins.
Okay, Zach goes first.
I solved this whole thing a lot earlier, and the outcome was still the same.
I was the rock, paper, scissors champion of my chess club.
So Zach's gonna pick his item, or
He's gonna pick a random one.
okay, a random item. Okay, so
Now, where do you cut the vegetables on this?
Wow. Such nice tuning.
yeah, it's way out of tune. So I'm supposed to guess who picked this.
Yeah,
Yes.
first and foremost.
I don't think it was Frankie. And the only reason is because I don't think you'd lug this out of anywhere for the sake of this show. I'm gonna have to say Nina. I think this is a Nina item.
And where was it?
It was in my sister's old bedroom, up against the closet doors, maybe? This was my grandfather's. I don't know if he actually played it or there was someone else in the family, but it's an antique. It was up in the attic above my apartment. There was a ton of junk up there from when we moved from Tiverton. Still tons of stuff was up there. This item was actually the last item left up there. And when I had the insulation redone up there, I took it down because I didn't want to have just one thing up there, and it went upstairs. It's played with hammers. Actually, this is a Dulcimer. Even if you just hand me a little stick.
Thank you for cleaning the kitchen, Nina.
It's quite loud considering. Family heirloom,
Yep.
right? What do you do with a thing like this?
These seem to be the items I gravitate towards.
A fully qualified antique item, probably from the 20s, 1920s.
Whoa. Valued at? Do you have any
Probably not very much.
Yep.
It would have to be restrung, obviously, and you'd have to have somebody who was interested in playing it. but it does seem to be, it's not cracked or any major damage to it, but will it be thrown out? Almost certainly no.
I knew that going in.
Meaning its greatest purpose really is to be on this show.
Yeah, that's about it. Unlike with that book that you probably could have convinced me to give away, this, I'd really be hard-pressed. It's like a real family heirloom.
It belongs to the Hunts.
Yeah, it belongs to the Hunt household, or the M.A.C.S SNES, I guess. A very good pick. A very unique item. Oh, my. This is an item. I'm going to say it was Zach. This would have been in the closet at the top of the stairs or in my old room.
Was in the old room.
It was in the old room. Where in the old room, I really couldn't say. Probably pretty close to the door. Close to the entry door? No, was it way in the back somewhere?
It was over by the closet behind a bunch of paintings.
Oh, wow. This is a gun case. The interesting thing is inside. An
I can see why you would have thought it would be
M16A1.
by the door.
You don't know where the guns in your home are.
This one is permanently disabled. You may notice that it has a Super Nintendo connector on the end. This is an extraordinarily rare item. What this was used for was army training. It has a light ray sensor similar to what you'd have on Duck Hunt, but much more accurate. And they would actually practice firing of this gun. I don't even know how to hold it. They had custom-made cartridges of this. I have one of the cartridges as well. I bought it on eBay for about $650 in 2002, 2003. Probably today I could fetch $8,000 to $10,000 for this item. This is a extraordinarily rare find.
Wow.
This is a great collection item, but I'm honestly not too tied to it. I'm really not into guns at all. I mean, the most interesting part of it is actually that it works on a Super Nintendo and has the light ray attached to it.
Could you like play the Super Scope games on it?
It's not compatible. There's 3 cartridges. I have one of the 3. They're called M.A.C.S. They have targets. Something will come up on the screen. You have to shoot that very
Have
accurately.
you ever actually played it?
I have never. You need a single scan TV, and I don't have a single scan TV.
You have everything else.
Yeah.
Except for an old ass TV.
An old ass TV.
We should play it sometime. That sounds like some content.
It'll probably stay with me as long as I have my Super Nintendo collection, which I have no intention to sell.
Last and final, I mean, it's obviously mine.
2 hard drives. These are pretty interesting, though I feel that the more interesting thing might be actually what's on them. And I really have no idea what's on them. USB and Firewire 400, because that was the technology of the time. These are obviously hard drives in external 5 1/4 inch cases that you could also put CD-ROM drives in, that you know, because they have the little audio ports on the back. Probably in my sister's room downstairs, my sister's old room.
Yeah.
And I think that they were in there because I had looked at these fairly recently.
So that's what you do when you're done looking at a hard drive? You just throw it into a room of disaster?
Yeah, well, what else are you gonna do with it?
What you should do is then label it with a name and then keep a database as to what's actually on that drive. Because
never done
otherwise
that.
you end up 2 years later and you're like, what's on that?
See, I wouldn't do
don't
that
remember.
because obviously this is old technology. It's time to migrate it to newer technology. They're just files. It would take them 2 minutes or, you know, several
So it
hours.
takes several hours because of the technology.
Now, I bet these were expensive at the time. Probably no more than 100 gig.
I think it's bigger than that, but not much more. I think probably 100 to 400.
So a gig went for probably about $5 back then.
Yeah, and I have a lot of old technology that's of this era that really, it's not quite old enough to be antique and not quite new enough to be useful anymore.
It really is your technology era. 98 to 2003. Also known as the WWF Attitude Era.
In that room, right inside the door, if you go straight in, there's a small table. Was it on that table?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you went in there and like filed them somewhere.
No, it's just through them.
I kind of do want to plug them in.
We can do that. In terms of one that really kind of shocked me, the Dulcimer is definitely the one that I was least expecting to see today. So I think Nina has to take that one.
For whining and crying about not being able to win.
Zach's is probably the most interesting for the viewers at home. This one, Frankie, these are going to be cool once we plug them in.
They're
as part of-
priceless.
I'm pretty sure all they have on them is old copies of Shrek.
I remember, you had a 720 copy of Shrek and you had a monitor that could show it.
And at the time, HD things were not really...
You were showing all of us, you were like, look at that.
Zach had gone looking for a specific item that was missing.
Yeah, so Zach, tell us about this.
On the shelf, there used to be a McCormick container.
It was a porcelain black pepper container.
It's no longer there.
That item stopped being there about 2 weeks before the last Christmas party a year ago, when we did a deep clean of that room and took out everything. It was washed because it was covered in soot from the room. and then it was put in the basement at the bottom of the stairs. So there's a bunch of other crockery there that used to be on those shelves, and now it's down there.
Yeah, it looks like a large metal McCormick container.
And it's
but
actually, it was going to be
porcelain.
quite a fun gag, because I had ordered a pepper plant, like a black pepper plant, and I was going to plant it in the McCormick pepper planter. It never actually came to fruition.
We would have all laughed for years.
For eons. All right, so Frankie, this drive is a little bit older than I thought it was. This is from 2005, 2006. It's a 150 gigabyte drive, and there's quite a selection. It's like a capture of my life when I was 26 or so. It's about 10 years ago. We've got this video.
Was okay.
This was supposed to be Aladdin in HD, but it is clearly New York local news.
Do you have any clue why you're
I have no idea, Frankie.
Maybe this is the original Rickroll.
Is it really just 46 minutes of like... It is!
My guess is that you, you were downloading it from a news group.
Some data sheets for non-existent computer hardware. There's a classic joke data sheet for write-only memory. You know, get it? Because you can't have write-only memory. Some episodes of Star Trek Voyager. Some Simpsons here. Tons of anime.
Prince of Tennis.
This is the final edit before the subtitles pass, Zach. Actually, Zach and I worked a lot on this at the time. We made a troll episode of Prince of Tennis. And
They used to subtitle anime.
we used to subtitle anime under a group called .to. So we made up a fake ending episode in which we killed off one of the main characters. And this is actually an artifact from that.
I remember the interruption of the encoding a couple times where you accidentally hit spacebar.
Yes, I hit spacebar because at the time spacebar would cancel a Premiere rendering.
Wow, that's a really good memory, Zach. It's a very John thing to do. Like, bam!
Yeah, like, ah!
Like he moved something on the desk and it hit the spacebar. He's like, no!
I see Max Headroom. I see
Yeah,
movies.
there's all kinds of stuff.
Are you finding any of this sentimental whatsoever?
I haven't actually looked at this hard drive in a long time. Why don't we pop in the other one? Hear that old clicky hard drive? The drive is mounted. Whoa! This one's a terabyte. Probably the most interesting thing on it is a ton of recorded TV from 2016. Super recent.
Pretty recent. You should have known that.
Yeah,
So you've been using this?
I must have backed something up onto it.
You are a chaos. You know that?
Of the 1 terabyte capacity of this drive, 0.98 of it is in recorded TV. You could watch this episode of $25,000 Pyramid.
There's only one John Hunt. Hear the full story of John's adventures in anime subtitling in this episode of our video podcast, How Are We? And if you want to see that funny fake finale of Prince of Tennis that John and Zach made, check that out over here. Support us on Patreon and see you next time.